In this video, you will see how two sisters built a cozy and inviting lake house from the ground up, a perfect getaway for relaxing by the water or welcoming guests.
Since the house is being built right next to and partially over an artificial lake, the area has to be carefully dried out. Once the water is drained, they begin setting the first concrete columns. These strong vertical supports will become the backbone of the lake house.
The release agent is applied to the formwork to make removal easier after the concrete is cured. These molds hold the concrete in shape while it sets, ensuring that each column comes out straight, strong, and water-resistant.
Constructing columns in a dried lakebed presents unique challenges due to the soil conditions and the potential presence of water. Proper preparation is essential to ensure the stability and longevity of the structure.
This guideline outlines the key steps and best practices for safely and effectively building columns in such environments, from site preparation and foundation work to concrete placement and curing.
Corrosion-resistant rebar, strong formwork, waterproof concrete, and proper air pocket removal are key elements that ensure the structural durability and water resistance of columns built in a dried lakebed.
With the columns in place and fully cured, it's time to connect the structure with a solid base. The sisters are preparing the formwork for a concrete slab that would serve as the ground floor of the lake house.
The ground floor of the lake house.
The formwork is mounted not just around the outer edges of the future floor, but also inside between the columns. This would allow them to pour connecting beams into the slab itself, linking all the columns together for extra strength and stability.
In order for the formwork to withstand the weight of the concrete, it must be reinforced with the necessary supporting beams. These beams help distribute the load evenly and prevent deformation or collapse during the pouring and setting process.
All the connecting formworks are covered with wooden boards that serve as a mold for the concrete slab, ensuring a uniform and stable structure once the concrete is poured. They also help prevent leakage and maintain the intended dimensions.
The sisters are applying a waterproof membrane over the wooden formwork. This membrane serves as a protective barrier between the concrete and the wood and also facilitates easier formwork removal after curing.
The next important structural element is the slab belt. This reinforced concrete band would run around the top edge of the ground floor slab, helping to evenly distribute loads and tie the entire frame together.
The reinforcement cage is one of the main structural elements of the slab belt, providing essential strength and stability. Using steel bars, a sturdy grid structure is created by securely tying them together with wire to maintain proper spacing and alignment.
A grid-like structure is formed along the perimeter and in key internal sections, securely tied to the vertical rebar rising from the columns. This creates a solid ring around the base of the future walls, providing the necessary strength to support the next level.
The girls begin the reinforcement by placing a steel bar grid directly over the waterproof membrane, forming a robust mesh that imparts structural strength to the concrete slab. Each bar is accurately spaced and firmly tied with wire to create a tight, uniform pattern that ensures stability and load distribution.
Wooden pallets are being attached to the edges of the structure along the entire perimeter. They serve as formwork to help maintain the correct slab height and provide additional stability during the concrete pour.
Wetting the surface prevents the dry base from absorbing too much moisture from the fresh concrete, which could lead to weak bonding and cracks. It also helps the concrete spread more evenly and cure more slowly, both essential for a strong, durable slab.
Vibrating the concrete is a crucial step in the placement process. It eliminates air pockets and ensures that the concrete fully fills all voids within the formwork.
Watering the concrete slab keeps the surface moist, allowing the cement particles to fully hydrate and develop strength. After sufficient curing, the wooden formwork along the perimeter is removed as the concrete has gained enough stability to maintain its shape without support.
Building walls with bricks and mortar is one of the oldest and most widely practiced construction techniques, valued for its durability, fire resistance, and structural integrity.
The process involves systematically laying bricks in a defined pattern and bonding them together with mortar. Each brick is carefully pressed into a bed of mortar, with additional mortar applied between the other joints.
Bricks are arranged in horizontal rows, known as courses, typically using a staggered pattern, such as the running bond. This layout helps distribute loads evenly and enhances overall wall strength.
The areas above all door and window openings are naturally weaker and require additional support to bear the load of the wall above. To address this, reinforced concrete lintels are being installed.
These are horizontal beams made of steel rebar encased in poured concrete, positioned directly above each opening. They provide the necessary strength and help prevent cracking or structural failure.
For the roof, a saltbacks gable design is chosen. This is a classic shape with one long, gently sloping side and a shorter, steeper one. This asymmetrical roof gives the house a unique character and creates more usable space inside.
Instead of using tiles or metal sheets, the sisters take an unconventional approach. They decide to build the roof entirely from concrete. To do this, a strong and carefully shaped formwork system must be prepared.
The process begins with constructing the formwork for the concrete ridge, the highest point of the saltbox roof where the two slopes converge. To provide structural support and define the roof's shape, temporary wooden beams are installed, arranged like traditional rafters.
Next, the entire surface is covered with wooden boards, creating a solid, continuous base for the concrete. The next step is to reinforce the roof before pouring the concrete.
Steel bars and reinforcement wires are installed along the roof ridge, strengthening the most load-bearing part of the structure.
Then a steel mesh is made and laid out across the entire field of the roofing system, which is carefully tied to the ridge reinforcement.
The concrete pouring process begins with the reinforced ridge filling it completely to form a solid structural spine for the entire roof.
Then concrete is poured across the entire surface of the steel mesh and wooden formwork, ensuring full coverage. The mix is spread evenly and methodically from top to bottom to eliminate gaps and achieve a uniform, solid surface.
To connect the lake house to the shore, the sisters plan a charming walking bridge that blends structure with natural style. The process begins by measuring, digging, and compacting a trench to prepare the foundation for the floor wall of the bridge.
Next, reinforcement is placed, and the trench is filled with concrete, forming a solid footing for the bridge structure.
Once the base is fully cured, sidewalls are constructed using bricks that match the design of the lake house. These walls form the vertical boundaries of the bridge path, contributing to its structural integrity and visual appeal.
For the arch beneath the bridge, the sisters use an unexpected yet clever material, bamboo tree bark, soft, flexible, and easy to shape. The bark is used as formwork to create a smooth, curved arch base. On top of this, they construct the arch barrel using bricks laid in a curved pattern, somehow forming a voussoirs. These bricks followed the natural curve of the arch, distributing weight efficiently and completing the structural form.
The arch is then reinforced and poured with concrete to create a strong and stable base for an arch-to-backfill interface.
The process continues with the construction of the sidewalls, which serve as both structural elements of the bridge and as retaining reservoirs for the gravel infill.
The sides and top of the bridge are then filled with gravel, which is pressed and watered to ensure proper settling and minimize the risk of future shifting.
Once a stable and supportive base is established, concrete is poured across the entire surface, forming a solid roadway connecting the land to the lake house.
Finally, brick parapets are constructed along both edges of the bridge, adding a handcrafted finishing touch to the structure.
Once the roof concrete is cured, the formwork is removed. The next step is to complete the roof by giving it a natural, elegant finish.
The girls begin mounting slabs directly onto the cured concrete surface using mortar. Each slab is carefully placed in a pattern reminiscent of ceramic roofing tiles, slightly overlapping to ensure effective water runoff.
To create a safe and efficient electrical network, careful planning of the layout is essential. Channels are cut into the brickwork to run wiring, which will later be sealed with mortar.
These channels allow for the installation of electrical wiring that connects interior rooms and exterior lighting fixtures to the main distribution box.
The exterior walls are plastered using a durable cement-based mix designed to withstand weathering, moisture, and temperature fluctuations, creating a solid base for decorative coatings.
The interior walls are plastered using a finer cement-based mix, ideal for living spaces. All surfaces are carefully smoothed to achieve a high-quality finish.
The exterior walls are being decorated with flat textured stone, tiles, and earthy tones that match the landscape, enhancing visual appeal, improving weather resistance, and reducing heat transfer to the interior.
The next step involves preparing the interior floors for screeding. Old ceramic tiles are repurposed as a base layer, functioning similarly to gravel. They are spread across the surface, followed by the application of a cement mix on top.
Before installing the LVP flooring, the underlayment material is laid down to provide cushioning and moisture protection. The LVP planks are then installed with a click lock system.
It is important to leave a gap between the planks and the walls to allow for natural expansion. This gap is concealed by installing baseboards around the room's perimeter, preserving the floor's ability to move freely.
Due to the lake house's proximity to water and high humidity levels, metal doors and windows are chosen over traditional wooden ones.
Metal frames provide greater durability and moisture resistance, preventing warping and rot and reducing the need for frequent maintenance.
For aesthetic appeal and a refined finish, wooden planks coated with moisture-resistant treatment are mounted around the door and window frames.
Using rope to decorate the exterior lighting adds character and ambiance to the house, creating a magical and welcoming atmosphere for evenings by the lake.
Next, ceiling lights are mounted in designated locations. Switches are installed near doorways, and electrical outlets are fitted into their boxes at convenient spots throughout the rooms, ensuring easy access for appliances and devices.
What began as a shared vision between two sisters has become something far more meaningful, a handcrafted lake house that blends strength, creativity, and soul.
This home by the water is more than just a place to stay. It's where the silence isn't empty, but filled with peace.
Built with love and welcoming with open arms, this lake house isn't just a destination, it's a feeling, a sense of calm, of beauty, of belonging.